There was a report this week that the Bengals offensive coordinator, Brian Callahan, wants to get more out of their wide receiver, John Ross. If you don't know, the Bengals wide receiver, John Ross, is a freak of nature. He's fantastic. He ran a record, a NFL record, a 4.22 40-yard dash, the fastest ever. And Callahan says he doesn't just, when he watches tape, the Bengals offensive coordinator says, when he watches the film, he doesn't just like John Ross's ability to run in a straight line. He also really, really likes his ability to be shifty and move around. He's not just good in a straight line. He's really quick. He's explosive. He's got great agility. Hearing this really, really excites me. As a football fan, I go, yes, 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 because the Bengals have been so disappointing in recent years, especially John Ross. When John Ross was drafted, I was so excited. John Ross has been completely underwhelming, and it's been very sad. It's been disappointing to me. Because at the University of Washington and college, John Ross was fantastic. Then he was the 9th overall pick. The Bengals picked him with the 9th overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft. I was like, yes, the Bengals got a great offensive weapon. But in the NFL, he's not panned out. In the 2 years John Ross has been in the NFL, he's only got 21 catches, 210 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I know he got hurt, but that's still like, really? That's all you got? And when I watch him on film, they don't use him very well. I mean, when you look at the Bengals on paper, they have A.J. Green, a fantastic stud wide receiver. If they re-sign Tyler Eifert, they have a really solid tight end, a guy who's been hurt. But Tyler Eifert, if he does come back to the Bengals, he can play. 2 great running backs, Giovanni Bernard, Joe Mixon, a solid veteran quarterback, Andy Dalton. Whether you like him or not, Andy Dalton's been to the Pro Bowl 3 years in a row. But even with all that talent, in recent years, the Bengals have been extremely, extremely disappointing. But then guess what? The Bengals got hope. The Bengals took a risk. They fired a mediocre, solid guy who consistently does okay, head coach Marvin Lewis. They fired him, got rid of him, and they brought in a young, upstart, first-time head coach, Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor is the Rams' former quarterback coach. He has worked with Sean McVay a lot. And Zach Taylor has really good, innovative ideas. That's the hope and the thought. So I'm excited to watch. If the Bengals can use guys like John Ross, who's clearly a very, very gifted athlete. His ability, his agility, his quickness, his ability to catch the ball. If you watched him in college, you know the guy can play football. He's a great, great athlete. And I'm very hopeful that Zach Taylor can deliver the promise of bringing new schemes, bringing creative looks, creative ideas to the playbook, and help the Bengals reach their potential, because the Bengals on paper, A.J. Green, Giovanni Bernard, Joe Mixon, a solid veteran quarterback, John Ross, a guy who's a physical freak. If they can get the most out of their roster, the Bengals' ceiling is really, really high. So as a football fan, I don't have a team. I don't care. I just want to watch good, interesting football. I want the Bengals to be interesting. I want them to be good. Their division with the Steelers, the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. The Browns have Baker Mayfield. They're up and coming. I want the Bengals to get in the mix. I want them to step in the ring and fight. And that's what Zach Taylor might do for the Bengals. And that is why in 2019, the Bengals are one of the most intriguing teams you can watch in the NFL. I'm just getting more and more excited. The more I think about it, I go, I really want this to be a good story and to be interesting. And I think there's a good chance in 2019, the Bengals could be a very, very they're interesting either way, but they could actually deliver on their promise, and they could be more than hype. Maybe the Bengals actually do something this year and are interesting. That is what I want to see from the Bengals. And I want to be one more thing. We're going to end this topic. I got to be clear. If the Bengals aren't incredible this year, it's okay. They're going to build something. Maybe it takes 2 years. Maybe it takes 3 years for the Bengals to get back. But I just want them to be interesting again, because for years, I have not cared at all about watching the Bengals, and bringing in Zach Taylor, hearing them say we want to use John Ross, that makes me interested in the Bengals for the first time in years. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It is my favorite thing in the entire world. And I want to ask for your help. I want this show to grow. I want more people to watch and more people to listen to this podcast. My dream is to do this show as my full-time job. I want to own it myself. I want to do it on the internet and have complete control. I don't want to do it for CBS or ESPN. I don't want to work for a big network. I want to own it myself. And if you believe in that dream, please do me a huge favor. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast. Share it on Facebook, share a link on Twitter, maybe you screenshot it, put it on Instagram. I don't have a marketing strategy beyond this. This is all I have. You know, a lot of people, one of the most common comments I get on YouTube is, you have great content. We love your stuff. You deserve more viewers. What you should do is you should buy ad spaces on Facebook or Twitter or promote yourself and buy ads. I have no money. I am a broke college kid. I can't buy ad spaces. I don't have money to pay for books. And so my plan, this is my marketing plan, this is my strategy. All I plan to do is put every ounce of effort I have into making the very best podcast I can. I believe if I make a great product that people believe in, that people like, then they will share it with their friends. And so if you agree with that, if you believe in the show, if you like what I do, please do me a huge favor. Tell your friends about it. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast.